Online Marketing Bootcamp for VARs. All of the attendees are automatically muted by default, so if you have any questions, just use the Questions tab on your screen. We'll have a short Q&A session at the end of today's webinar. Let me introduce our first speaker, Jim Scott. Jim is ACOM's Senior Vice President of Sales and Marketing. Jim, go ahead and take it away.
Thanks, Valerie, and thank you everyone for attending. We're actually very excited about launching this webinar series. As you may know, in today's economic climate, the need to market in a cost-effective manner has never been greater. If you look at most of the trade publications serving the channel, the area solution providers value the most from vendors is assistance with your sales and marketing efforts. And at the heart of that is lead generation. Studies have shown that online marketing can provide some of the most cost-effective lead generation results available. In today's webinar, we're going to cover 5 key online programs that you can and should utilize. Our goal is to show how you can increase your business by taking advantage of these tools currently available to you. And the good news is that some of these tools are absolutely free. More importantly, these tools are ubiquitous, so your competition may be looking at these as well. Keep in mind, online tools is one thing, and how to use them is another matter. Today's webinar is the first in a series of 3 sessions that we are providing to help solution providers and those considering our program to learn how to take advantage of cost-effective online marketing programs. Our session will provide an overview of the key tools available, but we will also provide actionable tips that you can use in your business right away. In our sessions, we will cover each of the 5 areas individually, providing more depth in education, and again, with actionable information that you can take back to your business. And now let me provide a little background on ACOM's online marketing programs and the value that provides to our partners. Let me start by saying we practice what we preach. Currently, 64% of all of our inquiries, this would be leads, come from our online marketing activities. That also contributes to 46% of our active sales funnel, and it contributes 47% of our closed sales. Stated differently, almost half of our closed business and half of our active sales funnel and more than half of our leads comes from online marketing. What's most important about this is that it costs us a mere fraction for this compared to the other half. Okay? So how does this relate to our partners? Okay? Our goal is to provide our partners with the tools and education that will allow you to successfully implement cost-effective online marketing initiatives that will allow you to grow your business. This is what our ACOM VAR Success Program is all about. The things that we make available are online tools. Okay? We'll show you how to use them, and we even will provide a local pay-per-click toolkit to help you get started. Okay? And now let me introduce our speaker. Okay? It's my pleasure to introduce Carl Kleinbach. He is our Senior Online Marketing Manager at ACOM. He is an active member and former marketing chairperson of the Web Analytics Association, and he's a featured contributor to OnlineMarketingConnect.com. Carl has numerous certifications in online marketing, including search engine optimization, paid search engine management, online testing, and pragmatic marketing. Okay. In terms of Carl's contributions at ACOM, since he's implemented the techniques that we're going to speak about today, we've seen our organic search traffic increase 500%. Our site conversion rate is up 350%, and our total conversions, anyone in sales, that means leads, is up 800%. So with that, let's get down to business, and let me introduce Carl Kleinbach. Carl?
Thanks, Jim. I'm excited to be here today. Really, my hope here is to generate some of the same enthusiasm that I have for online marketing in you. It's become a critical component of marketing in general. The presentation is 5 steps that deliver results, your roadmap to success online. And we're going to go ahead and open up and get a feel for kind of where you guys are at with a poll.
Let's go ahead and open this up. What are your biggest online marketing challenges? If you could just click on one of those, we'll close the poll in about 1 minute. Okay.
All right. Well, I mean, judging by the poll results, it looks like we've got a pretty much mixed bag. But the leader would be all of the above and knowing what works and what doesn't. And these really are not unusual situations at all. So let's go ahead and get to the crux of it. Why is online marketing mission critical? What's happened? It used to be that your website was essentially just an online brochure. Not a lot of attention was paid to it. There's more to this than just the upside or the ROI. What's really significant here and of great concern is the downside. It's become a double-edged sword in that your online presence can also significantly hurt your sales and business. The game has really changed. It used to be we would blast out a message, push it out, and see what we could kind of strain through the net. What happens now, and this survey result you see here reflects that, is 80% of technology buyers say they found the vendor. They went out and looked, they did the research, and they initiated contact. And where they're looking for information is online. One indicator of that is just the pervasiveness of the use of Google. In this Marketing Sherpa study, it's just astounding. 98% of B2B technology buyers use Google as part of the research process. 83% of those all the time. So if you establish that it's important to do online marketing, the next thing is, all right, how do I start? How do I bite this, chunk this up into bite-sized chunks? Well, there's a logical order, and what we've got is a process that we've kind of settled on. There's 5 core elements to the process, and they really should be performed in order. The measurement is where you start, you move to conversion, then you start to drive visitors with pay-per-click and search engine optimization, and then you try and maximize the leads that you do get with lead nurturing. The thing to remember here is essentially any one of these can have a significant impact, but there's a multiplier effect by doing them in order. If you do them in order, it makes the subsequent ones that much more effective. So for us, step 1 is measurement. You really got to lay the foundation and be able to say what's going on. As the axiom goes, you can't improve what you can't measure. And what we've done is essentially try to really distill this down to basics and create 4 types of analytics. The first type is called early warning signs. These are things that you're just going to monitor over time. You'll trend them out, and you can see, the idea below with the trend graph. The things you're going to want to monitor here really at the most basic level: unique visitors, the length, how long they're staying on your site, the average number of page views, how many pages they look at each session, and your overall conversion rate. And it's kind of just like taking the pulse at the doctor's office. You're going to monitor it. You're going to want to check this every day. A couple other things you're going to pick up with analytics is referring sites. This is where you're getting traffic from. This is important. I mean, you're going to be able to see, okay, where are the people coming from, and you're going to be able to identify some potential partnerships, advertising opportunities, and so forth. The other thing that's going to help you build traffic is the keywords. You're actually going to be able to capture the phrases that people searched on when they found you on the search engine, and that's going to enable you to tune your PPC or pay-per-click SEO efforts. The next group is what I call red flags. I really narrowed this down to just one initially because you don't want to make this overly complicated, but this one has got a big impact, and it's identifying the top 5 pages in terms of high traffic, high bounce. These are pages that receive a lot of visitors, but it's also the pages where they entered your site at that page without proceeding any further. So in terms of opportunity, they're coming in, but they're not doing what you need them to do. It's a tremendous waste, and these are the ones you're going to want to jump on in terms of optimizing these pages later. The last group is the grand jury. This measurement is conversion by campaign. So you're going to look at each specific campaign initiative, be it pay-per-click, be it a tracked magazine ad, a banner ad on another site, and you're going to see the contribution of that campaign specifically to the number of conversions you receive, and you'll really be able to evaluate it from a number of different views and adjust the campaigns where you spend your money and really maximize the dollars. And getting started, this is amazing to me. The fortune we've received in terms of analytics is staggering. The tool out there is Google Analytics, and it's free. And no joke, this thing would have cost you 6 figures to be able to have access to 5 years ago. I know because they actually bought the tool that we bought. They bought that company, and that was the foundation for their analytics tools going forward. We really can't dive deep into the analytics, specifically Google, but what I would like to do is just give you kind of a taste of what you're going to find here. You're going to be able to track things in so many ways, it's going to blow your mind. Here is what you're going to see when you enter Google Analytics, and it's called the dashboard. The important thing I want to communicate here is it's a number of measures, and it's customizable, so you determine what measurements are important for you to track, and you customize this view with those measurements. Now, the other thing that's really nice here is you can set this thing up to automatically email this report to you and other people who are stakeholders in this project on a regular basis, and you specify actually the time interval that these things get mailed out. You can see here that this particular report is trending average visitor time on site. What you're going to look for here is there a sudden dip? If there is, you're going to go, okay, now why? And you're going to drill deeper. And that information is there at a click. You can also see here that it's also a number of things, visits, bounce rate in the aggregate, and also what we talked about, the referrals in that pie chart, the sources of traffic of people coming to your site. I just can't emphasize enough the power of this tool and the magnitude of what it can do for you. Analytics is great, but that only tells you what happened. It's kind of an after-the-fact thing. If you really want to have some impact, you're also going to need to know why. There's a great quote here from a really leading authority in web analytics. His name is Avinash Koshnik. And it's web analytics is good at the what. It is not good at the why. It only comes from the customer. Now, how are you going to capture the why from the customer? It's with a survey. And in this case, again, you're really lucky. There's a tool out there called 4Q. You can see down there there's a URL for it. I wouldn't worry too much about it. If you just do search for 4Q survey, you'll be able to find it. This tool is so easy to implement. It's just a snippet of code. You'll be able to get it up in about an hour on your entire site. It only asks the visitor 4 questions. But the answers to these questions will show you how satisfied are my visitors. What are my visitors at my website to do? Are they completing what they set out to do? If not, why not? And if they did complete it, what did they like best about the experience? I mean, all these pieces of information are just amazing in terms of helping you make adjustments to your website to really improve the visitor experience and, in the end, get more leads. Once you've captured the survey responses, you have some reporting capabilities here, again, that are just amazing. Not so much in their depth, but in their clarity. These reports are so simple and straightforward, and they also are all on one page. In a few minutes, you're going to be able to scan over this thing and get a really good idea of what's happening on your site and how you can make some improvements. Now, moving from analytics and measurement to step 2, on-site conversion. Your website is critical. I mean, a lot of people just have missed this point, and I really want to drive this home. Research is showing that prospects will visit your website as a part of the purchase process. In this case, this research showed 76% of the buyers will. Now, not only will they visit your website, but they're going to judge you by that website. This study from WebVisible and Nielsen shows 77% of people would actually rather buy from somebody they don't know if they've got a nice website than from somebody they know who has a unfortunately unprofessional website. So why do we address this now? Why is this step 2 in the process? The simple fact is it costs a lot less to conversion than drive visitors. You're going to be able to get a magnitude order of improvement and number of leads from improving conversion. I mean, in our case, it's over 300%. To get that same increase in the number of leads via traffic, you're going to have to spend 3 times as much to drive visitors to your website to get that improvement. It's better to do this now and make the most out of the money you spend later than spend the money and start to fix things. Jumping right in, some quick things that we can do. 1, change your headlines before anything else. It's quick, it's easy, and it really has a big impact. There's a caveat to this. That's if your site doesn't suck. Your site, your curb appeal using the real estate approach, how does it look? Your first impressions are very important. You got about 2 seconds when somebody shows up on your site before they leave. You look at the example on this site. This is actually somebody's home page. Do you think the visitors stayed here? That site actually made the honor roll here. You don't want to be here. This is a website that actually ranks and lists web pages that suck. Now, aside from the humor of being the unfortunate few that found their way here, this is really a valuable learning tool, and I recommend you take a look and see what not to do. There's a simple fix for this. If we've got any graphic designers or artists in the audience, please cover your ears. Go buy a template. This is just one website. They've got literally thousands of templates. There's a lot of others. It's going to cost you under $100 and a couple days to move your content from your existing site into this template and completely turn around the professionalism of your website. The next thing you really got to look at is really looking at every page on your website like it was a landing page. The reason for that is people are coming to your site more and more from search engines, and that means they're not coming in through the home page. So what you want to do is have every page give somebody the opportunity to engage with you. Every page should have a phone number on it. And really, in terms of tracking purposes, it would be best if it was a unique 800 number used only for the website. Have big buttons on the page for your call to action, your request information, your contact us. Here you can see the big green, more information, and the orange live demonstration. The other thing is offer some incentives. If you want people to engage with you, you really got to offer them something to share that contact information. They know that you're going to be visiting their inbox, so you better make it worth their while. The next step is forms. I mean, if you're going to capture that lead, typically you're going to use a form to do it, and there's just no way around this. The more questions you ask, the fewer responses you're going to get, and the fewer leads. One example here, I mean, take a look at this form. This is not uncommon. And do you think you'd fill this thing out? Most people would not. The final thing I'm going to talk about with respect to conversion is testing. Again, orders of magnitude. There's only one way for you to know what works, and that's to test it. We are constantly surprised at what works and what doesn't. You're going to have to get used to being wrong, but in the end, you're going to make a lot of improvements as a result. Here, again, Google's got an excellent free tool. It's called Website Optimizer, and you're going to be able to see what works, what doesn't, in what combination, and which item on the page actually had the greatest contribution. So if you've moved through step 1 and step 2, you're ready to start to drive some visitors to that website. We recommend that you start with pay-per-click. What's pay-per-click? In this case, what we're discussing is the ads that appear on the search engines. You can see these text ads in the red boxes. These are your paid search results. In the green box, that's your organic or natural search results. Those come from SEO, but the ones in the red are actually paid ads. Now, why do you want to do PPC? I mean, here's a testament to it. In the survey just done, in 2009, paid search is the tactic of choice among marketers. What this graph is really showing you, in short, is that it's viewed as having the greatest ROI, and it's also where everybody is investing actually the most. Paid search is just an awesome opportunity for you to get in front of your customers. This is just a snapshot from only Google for just the month of January. On these 8 search phrases alone, nearly 75,000 searches were performed. That's 75,000 chances for you to get in front of a potential customer. Now, which vendor should you start with? There can only be one real logical choice, and that's to start with Google. Again, referring to the earlier study, 98% of your buyers are going to be checking this out. It really is best to be there. Once you've really established your foundation with Google, you can move on to add Microsoft and Yahoo search engines, and then maybe some of the vertical search engines like business.com. Really, in just the most basic terms, there's 5 keys for pay-per-click success. 1, send them to a landing page, not your home page. Really, in order to be tuning this and get the most out of it, you need to do this. We set up a program with a company that's really at the forefront a few years ago with pay-per-click, and they were sending to people to just general pages on our site. We took that program and we tuned it and we set it up so people went to landing pages. And we took a 1.5% conversion rate and rang it all the way up to over 30%. The magnitude of what that did in terms of making the most dollars in our marketing spend was huge. The next step is bid for cost of lead, cost per lead, not position. Don't get competitive and don't obsess about being number 1. The bottom line here is what is it costing for every lead you get, and it's a simple math formula. If you want it later, I'll give it to you. It's not rocket science, but don't get competitive about this. The other is, while we're focusing on Google, stay off the content network. These are all the affiliates and all the thousands and millions of websites that run Google text ads on their websites. This is where you're going to really run into click fraud. Just go ahead and stay focused on appearing only on the search engines. 4th one, be relevant to your audience and your keyword. Keep in mind what your audience needs to know and make sure that the landing page and everything else is really tightly focused on what keyword you are actually bidding and paying for. And the final one, again, is test. Test your ads, test your landing pages, your offers, everything. You're going to be able to really make some huge jumps forward, and it's an iterative process. It is not, you're going to get it perfect the first time. We can really help VARs with getting this kicked off in terms of the pay-per-click campaigns. We've got a turnkey localized pay-per-click program that we're rolling out to our signed VARs. And what this is essentially in a few minutes you're going to be able to log into your account and set this thing up to run and be getting traffic right away. I mean, I can't emphasize enough the leverage you're going to get out of this. You're not going to be out there doing the trial and error in terms of which key phrases to select, which offers to provide, how to set up your ads, how to create your landing pages. You're really going to benefit a lot from this. And the other thing I'd recommend is our next webinar is about pay-per-click. We're going to really dive into a lot more detail on this, and attending that one would really be helpful. Now you've established your pay-per-click presence. The next logical step, as far as we're concerned, is go ahead and work on your search engine optimization. What is that? In the simplest terms, you're going to make some changes to your website and your web pages, and also to some items off your website in terms of appearing on other websites and links and that sort of thing. These changes are going to enable you to rank high results. Here's, again, this is where the organic search results show up. In Google, this is the green area on your screen. Now, you might be concerned that the paid ads are above this, but the reality is people are 4 times more likely to click on the organic search results than they are the paid. The top search result gets 27% of all the clicks. The top 4 get over half. Showing up high in organic search really, really pays off in terms of traffic. Search engine optimization saves you big. I mean, one example is the key phrase EDI software. This is a phrase we target. In 2008, almost 2,000 unique visitors to our website searching for this phrase. If we were to pay pay-per-click for this, I just ran these figures yesterday on Google AdWords. The estimated cost per click is $12.58. So for 2008 alone, we would have paid nearly $24,000 to receive that same traffic. We've had this ranking for over 4 years. I mean, that's nearly $100,000 just right there from one key phrase in terms of free traffic. Now, that's great. It's powerful. You can get your visitors. But can you compete? I mean, everybody here probably is a small to medium-sized business. You're wearing a lot of hats. Are you going to be able to find the time to make this work for you? And the answer is yes. We're a small business. I wear a lot of hats. And in this case, you can see a search on MSN for document management system. This search had 74 million results. And there we are at number 2. This is a search on Google for payment software. Out of 24 million search results, there we are, number 2. A little tighter in terms of the focus of the key phrase, accounts payable document management. By the way, you can get more than one result on the same page. There we are, number 2 and number 3. And you can beat out the big boys. This search is for AS400 content management. I mean, that's IBM's baby. It's their machine. It's their OS. They have a content management product. But if you look here, number 1 and number 2 is us, and number 3 is IBM. Some quick keys to success here. Again, we're not going to go into a lot of detail. Use the same words that were successful from your pay-per-click campaign. This is where your pay-per-click campaign really makes sense to run first. Make sure your search engines can crawl your site. Don't have flash navigation. Have a site map. Use XML site maps, Google Maps. There's a lot of tools out there that are going to enable the search engines to crawl your site. Find them and use them. Get reputable, relevant inbound links. These are from like Yahoo directories, associations, government sites, education sites, local business sites, Chamber of Commerce. Get them. They really are invaluable. Make sure you're using your top keywords in your HTML page title. That's what appears up in the blue bar when you're browsing. Your headers, your copy, and your link text. And build out a good body of content on your website, articles, and so forth. Now, there's another way here for you guys to leapfrog your national competitors, and that's called local search. Many of you have a local focus, so this really lends itself. A lot of people be looking for help in terms of a local provider, and when they do, in this case the search was based on California, local search results show up above the regular search results. So if you've tuned and adjusted your site, optimized it for search for local, you're going to jump right up above all the national competitors and be right where you see it on the page. Our final step in our process is lead nurturing. I like to think of this as getting more from less. The studies have indicated that only about 17% of inquiries are considered sales ready when they come in. The remaining 80+% are typically not acted on beyond the initial review. Studies also indicate that about 50% of total inquiries will buy from someone within a year. Now, what that really means is if 17% are being followed up on actively, that means we're leaving 2/3 of the potential pie on the table in terms of purchasers. That's a lot of missed sales opportunities. So what I propose is really just a shift in terms of how we see leads and inquiries. These things are assets and should be treated accordingly. Think about it in terms of your cost per lead being like the cost of a component in a manufacturing process. It's not unreasonable or unusual to see a cost per lead of, say, $100. I don't know of many manufacturing organizations that would allow over 80% of their parts at $100 a piece to be thrown away. What you can do is nurture those inquiries with a series of messages to stay in front of them until they're ready to buy. You need to focus on their buying cycle versus your selling cycle. Buying cycle is going to be a lot longer than your sales goals for the next month, so you got to find a way to stay in front of them until they're ready to buy. And the tool here is marketing automation systems, and they can really help. What these marketing automation systems do is automate the process of capturing leads, scoring them, routing them to be nurtured or acted upon by a sales rep, and really automating the drip and the sending of the follow-up messages. The benefits of lead nurturing, again, we're talking orders of magnitude. Your sales productivity from your sales team is going to go up. The sales cycles are going to shorten, and the number of qualified sales opportunities is actually going to go up. To kind of recap on the top 5 as we see it, online marketing is critical to your success. Your website is critical to your online marketing success. Web analytics is critical to your website success. You got to get visitors. Driving traffic to your website is going to ensure success. And finally, don't waste your leads. Nurture them. There's a lot more to be said about this. I'd love to talk more about it, but right now we got to cut it short. The 2 goals here were to get you excited about online marketing and show how it can help you grow your business, and to let you know that ACOM can help you succeed with your online initiatives. It's really one of the great advantages of joining the ACOM Partner Program is we got a lot of expertise in-house to help you with the details of each one of these steps. And I can tell you just firsthand from watching the way these programs are handled for our VARs, they're treated like they were our own. And the reality is it's because they are. And we're going to go ahead and move to another poll here.
Let's go ahead and launch the next poll. For which topics would you like to see more webinars? And you can go ahead and choose as many as you like. We'll leave it open for about 1 minute. Okay, about 10 more seconds on the poll. Okay, let's go ahead and close it out.
Okay. Yeah, this isn't surprising at all. All these things are important, and you know, the hot buttons as they sort it out, it's pretty common. Pay-per-click, SEO, and conversion tend to lead. I hope to do a long series of these and help you guys walk through this process. Let's go ahead and close this out and open this up for Q&A.
Again, to ask your question, please just submit the question in the Questions tab on your screen. Looks like we have time for maybe just one or right at 30 minutes now. All right, well, if you do come up with some questions, go ahead and just send them to this email address here, csm@acom.com. For more information about how to join ACOM's VAR Success Program, go to the URL there on your screen. We do have some more online marketing webinars to come. Go ahead and register online at acom.com/channels. And the next one will be Quick Start PPC Plan for the VARs and email marketing tips that deliver results for the VARs. Again, for those of you who joined today, we do have a free website review for our signed VARs, And this is also free to anybody who joins our VAR program by April 20th. Okay, thanks, Carl. This was a great webinar. Hopefully everyone picked up some great tips that they can start on right away. And remember, if you haven't already done so, go ahead and sign up for the next VAR webinar. And if you could please fill out the exit survey, this will help us improve on the next one for you. Thanks again to everyone for joining today. Bye for now.